Up about a year and a half ago and started to write. And in the past, all I've been writing has been autographs, really, for the past 10 years. And I finally started to write songs, which is by far the best part of this whole thing of being, I suppose, an artist, entertainer, whatever you would want to call it. That and playing live, but it all becomes a total process now that starts with just me and the guitar and possibly a new set of lyrics from Håvard. And I have to say that is probably my favorite part still. Right now, the only thing I haven't done since I've been spending the past year recording is to go out on the road. And I'm dying to do that. But first things first, we've cut it now. We've delivered the album, so we're going to wait and see how this whole thing performs, which is exciting as well. Who is Håvard? I don't think you know. He's trying to figure out himself, aren't you, Håvard? Who are you? The way I see him, he's certainly, he's a poet in the old meaning of the word, and he's certainly, to me, I mean, his lyrics, his poetry basically really turns me on and makes me want to write the music that I'm writing. It kind of goes by itself. It just happens. It charges me. It's very simple or simplistic in its way, but almost kind of primal in a way, which I respond to. And funny, well, we've never met until a couple of years ago, although we have a lot of the same, we share a lot of the same background, and we could have been childhood friends. We just never met. We kind of should have met a long time ago. It just never happened until, like I said, a couple of years ago, and I just had a good feeling about that, and I invited him in on this project, which also I had no idea what was going to be, and I wasn't wrong. I mean, I've had a great time, and I'm really, we're in the middle of, we're like halfway through the next album already with new songs.
To me, poetry is much more than just poetry books. Poetry is singing, poetry is records, poetry is concerts. So, you know, to work together with a singer, it's just natural.
I had no idea where I wanted to go really when I started this. I just knew that it was time for me to get out and do an album on my own and be responsible on my own. It was something was waiting for me, and that was a pretty strong feeling, really. I didn't know what it would be, and initially I thought that I would go out and look for good material, which I indeed ended up doing, but I was looking for it in my own guitar, as opposed to finding it somewhere else. And that pleases me, because in a way I didn't expect that to happen. But it's happened like that in a most natural way, and this is a whole process of this album and the writing between Håvard and myself, and also some of the other contributors to this album. It's all happened very naturally, and I need that. Otherwise, I've been, you know, after all, I've been doing this for quite some time, and I know what's in it, in a way, and I know what I want out of it, what I need to have. in order to be doing this, to keep doing it. And I found that. There's no, for me, there is no, I'm not interested in just filling another record sleeve at all. There are so many artists coming out every year, hundreds and hundreds, and why should I just clog the airways with even more? Unless I had to do it in a way. And I had to get there or give it a miss, really. But that is what I found. And now, all I really need at the end of the day is this guitar and good lyrics to work with. And I find that in my in my working relationship with Håvard and to some extent his circle of friends as well. Half in love and half in hate. Someone told me it is late. Late on earth, he said maybe. Late in you, late in me. Darker than it has to be. Tell me just another lie. Now we're woven under eyes. Tell me that there is no other. I am a child, be my mother. If you lie, babe, if you bother. Since you raised that wall around you, since I lost you, I have found you strange. And I can swear for sure, haven't seen that girl before. Half in love and half I want. I don't sit down with a guitar and kind of sweat a new song out of it, in a sense. I don't. I sense that there's a song about to happen somehow, and I don't even pick the guitar up. I let it, I leave it be, and wait till I feel, you know, it's not a big deal in a way. It's kind of just a little feeling that I have, and I know when to sit down and pick it up. That is very often how it happened. I mean, I talk like I've been doing this for a long time. I haven't, but I've been doing it intensively for nearly 2 years now, and that is, there is a pattern. Håvard and I went to Los Angeles after we'd kind of finished writing for the album. We thought we had the album, but at the same time we sensed that, although we had enough songs, we sensed that there were 2 more songs to be written. We got on the plane and went to Los Angeles, and because Hobart hadn't been to LA before, and I'd not been there a lot myself. I'd only been in and out, and that had always been for work, a different kind of work, doing videos or meeting with a record company, things that certainly are different than going there with a guitar, just to sit on the street restaurants and cafes and write. So we went and we wrote 2 songs, and one is a kind of Christmas card, and the other one's called Tell Me What You See, which is also likely to be a single of this album. And I felt both these songs were about to happen. I never know what it is. And when they come, they don't take long to emerge. Brodsky tune is, well, the Brodsky piece is the first song that I wrote for the album when I started out. And I just recorded that. That was the initial, that was the start, really. Later on, however, when I met Håvard, I remembered a song that I wrote 10 years ago in '83, in the early days of Aha, 12 years ago now, which is really the first song that I actually wrote, but never really did anything with. And the funny thing is that one of my favorite Norwegian poems of Håvard is called, in English, Lay Me Down Tonight. which we then rewrote into English. And that was written at the same time, roughly 12 years ago, in 83, autumn 83. And we put the two together, and we have Lay Me Down Tonight, which is one of the tracks on the album now. And essentially really is the first song written, although we didn't know at that point. The easiest ones have been where that has not been the case, where the song or the writing has been free. Either it starts with a set of lyrics from Hobart, like for instance, Los Angeles. You waited for me when I was strong. You never called, you waited long. Now I come back to sleep with you. You love me still, I love you too. He just wrote that on a plane and gave them to me.
It's a plain song.
Any relationship. The main bulk of the band that I've been using is basically 4 other guys, and they are brilliant, and I'm dying to go out on the road with them. And the great thing for me as well is that these guys are the very best. They more or less play with whoever they want, and they got a kick out of doing these songs, this album, and they've all said that they would like to go out on the road when we do that, and I would love for that to happen. But I have to wait, of course, for first things first. But as soon as that's possible to set up, I'm dying to go out on the road. Did I need to break free? We all had a strong urge to break free. I mean, all 3 of us in the group with a heart. But we've always felt like that anyway. Our heart always had a strong urge to break free. In a sense, both from each other, but in general as a group. It's been part of I think, of the driving force, and that burning sensation is there, and certainly that became stronger with me towards like 3 years ago or so, and we've all sensed that, and it was completely natural for all of us to go out and do other things on our own, which we're all doing now at the moment. For now, and in the future, no one knows. We've never known we've never known whether there'll be another album, and we don't know that now. I'd say there will be, and that is from what I understand, having not seen the guys for quite a long time, because I've been completely immersed in doing this. None of us are thinking that we're not going to do that anymore. We don't think like that. When we get together, and if we get excited about doing something together, we'll do it. I just love to either get on my bike or to just get on the plane or in the car, just throw the guitar in and set off. And Håvard will bring his laptop and his little notebook, and we go anywhere. It's just the greatest adventure. All you folks back home, I never tell you this. You're not supposed to know where your daughter is. There are ways of life you never understood.